This evening, long COVID has been reported in numerous cases in Guyana. $500 million allocated for online CPC teachers training program. A penitent's family home set ablaze by a toddler. In the region, at least 24 persons were killed in landslide after Ecuador's heaviest rain in years. And internationally, California's lithium rush for electric vehicles. Greetings and welcome to another edition of Channel 2 Headline News Updates. I am Bibi Bacchus. Thank you for joining us. The Guyana Police Force and the Guyana Prison Service are on the lookout for a prisoner who escaped from the Lusignan prison during the early hours of today. Dale Jarvis has more.
An 18-year-old prisoner on remand at the Lusignan Prison Virtual Court compound escaped earlier today while attending court. Kevin Singh of Lot 291 School Street Grove, East Bank Demerara, was admitted to the Lusignan prison on December 6, 2021 after being charged with 2 counts of ammunition and firearm possession and robbery under arms. Reports say that around 9:30 a.m. today, a prisoner officer uplifted 7 inmates, including Kevin Singh, to attend court at the Lusignan prison. Singh and the other inmates were left in the custody of prison officer Raul Wayne Payne. Around 9:45 a.m., Kevin Singh, who was foot-cuffed at the time, requested to use the prisoner washroom, which is situated at the northwestern side of the court compound. Singh went to the restroom after being granted permission. According to prison officer Payne, he went to the court office, leaving the prisoner in the washroom. Upon his return, he discovered Singh was missing. As a result, an alarm was subsequently raised. During a search of the court's compound, it was discovered that the eastern chain link fence had come loose from the posts. Efforts are being made to apprehend Singh. Reported for Headline News Update, Dale Jarvis.
Thanks, Dale. This evening, a family in the penitence is without a proper house and needs your assistance due to a fire that was started by a toddler. Esther Sobers has more.
17 persons have been left homeless after an unfortunate fire started by a 3-year-old destroyed their dwelling home in Castellello housing scheme on Wednesday, February 2nd. The fire started sometime around 8:40 a.m. in the upper flat of the building. Headline News spoke to the mother of the toddler, 25-year-old Naomi Roberts, who related what transpired.
I was cooking at the stove and I didn't saw my 3-year-old son under the bed with the lighter. And when my daughter informed me that he had a lighter, when she informed me that the bed was burned, it was already take place. However, by the time I could look around, the bed was already in flame. So I couldn't do nothing. All I could do was just try to get it out, and that was it.
According to Miss Roberts, the toddler had used a lighter which was left in the bedroom, which is the main cause for the fire.
Normally lighters be above the stove part, but then I don't know how, probably sometimes my father would use the lighter and he would leave it on the ledge, or something he would forget to do, and he probably he forget why he went to work. So he picked up the lighter, but it didn't had on the shine thing on top. It was just like, when shine thing come out. So it's probably he sparkled that. And the gas probably this will catch the bed.
Lynette O'Brien, the owner of the charred building, was not at home at the time of the fire, confirmed the property was uninsured. Of the 17 people who have been affected by the blaze, some had to seek boarding from other family members, while others had no choice but to stay in their apartment. Though the entire building was not destroyed by fire, the contents were damaged by water. If you would like to assist the families that suffered losses in this unfortunate fire, you can contact them on 675-8486. For Channel 2 Headline News, Esther Sobers.
Thanks, Esther. Over $500 million has been set aside in the education budget for Sarah Potter College of Education to go entirely online with its teachers training program. Minister of Education Priya Manichan made a statement during her presentation on Day 3 of the National Budget Debate in Parliament yesterday. Minister Manichan stated that the initiative would provide training to thousands of teachers around the country as part of the government's aim to increase the quality of learning outcomes in all educational institutions. The aim, she said, is to achieve 100% trained teachers or teachers in training by 2025. Quote, "We were able to move our intake at CPC from 536 to 3,000, giving the Amerindian teachers a chance to get degrees in education and not just trained teachers' certificates." End of quote. The Teachers Training College graduated its largest class of 843 teachers this year. Stick around after the break. Essequibo housewife robbed of $500,000 by armed bandits, and Guyana has recorded several cases of long COVID. Stick around to know what it is and how you too could be affected by it.
Maison Francois is the chocolate paradise of Guyana. From the moment you enter our store, you are welcomed by the sweet aroma of Belgian chocolate, pastries, and other artisanal treats handmade by our European-trained chef. Our convenient location at the City Mall is the perfect place to take that special someone or to take home a little sweetness. So treat yourself with a taste of Paris in the heart of Georgetown, only at Maison Francois.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny?
I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, Lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Furnishing your home or office has never been easier. Here at Kissoon's, our inventory of locally made and imported furniture, offered at amazing prices, will leave you wanting more. From vinyl, floor rugs and carpets, bedroom, dining and living room sets, mattresses, pillows, office desk, chairs and filing cabinets, outdoor benches and tables. We have a piece of furniture for every room imaginable in your home or office. Check out our flagship store at Industrial Site Rijnveld or one of our branches in New Amsterdam, Port Morant, Riverton and Camp Street. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 50 years.
Sooner or later you will have another power failure. Are you prepared for the next blackout? Some essential equipment such as security cameras, lights, internet, gate motors, and water pumps may stop working. How can you prevent the next blackout? InverterTech has an affordable solution for you. A strong UPS system which uses the latest inverter and solar battery technology to prevent blackout. We smartly calculate your average power demand so you don't spend more than you need to. Call 223-2233 for more information.
When you need money and you gotta get it fast, Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop is the place for that confidential transaction in a quiet and secure location. You'll get the highest value per pennyweight for your gold and also enjoy the lowest interest rates and longest payback period too. Yes, for that instant transaction to solve a pressing financial problem. That Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, 46 Boyle Place, that's between the Ministry of Housing on Brick Dam and White Castle Fish Shop. Be your first and only choice. Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, safe and sound, solid and secure, always there for you. Telephone 231-7878 and 223-8955.
Welcome back. Minister of Health Dr. Frank Anthony, during his COVID-19 update on Wednesday, said Guyana have recorded several cases of the long-term effects of the coronavirus, long COVID, since the beginning of the pandemic in 2020. Long COVID is a term used to describe the effects of COVID-19 that continues for weeks or months beyond the initial illness. Dr. Anthony said SARS-CoV-2 can affect almost any part of the body, and symptoms of long COVID can develop when a person is affected with the disease or even after recovery. Dr. Anthony said long COVID could also cause damage to the kidney, heart ailments, and temporary memory loss. Some persons were also diagnosed with diabetes after they recovered from the virus. To prevent this, he is urging persons to ensure they are fully vaccinated and boosted. Minister Anthony said to address this issue, the Ministry of Health has established a multidisciplinary medical team at the Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation to treat and manage patients with long COVID. Meanwhile, the minister is cautioning citizens not to become complacent, as persons can still become hospitalized with the Omicron variant. The police are looking into an alleged armed robbery of a housewife in Essequibo Island, West Demerara, who was robbed $500,000. Esther Sobers has more.
Police ranks in Regional Division Number 3 are investigating an alleged robbery under arms committed on a 34-year-old housewife of Zlock Housing Scheme East Bank Essequibo on Wednesday, February 2nd. According to a police report, the woman was robbed by two unidentifiable males of 500,000 Guyana dollars. The woman alleges that around 2 a.m. she was awakened by strange sounds in her house and found two suspects at the bedside demanding that she hand over cash. She further stated that she became fearful for her life and surrendered the money to one of the suspects armed with a gun. The suspects then ran out of her bedroom and made good their escape in an unknown direction. The police were subsequently contacted and investigations are in progress. For Channel 2 Headline News, Esther Sobers.
Thanks, Esther. Don't go away after the break. At least 24 killed in landslide after Ecuador's heaviest rain in years, and deadly conflict increasing on Colombia-Venezuela border region. But before that, here's the bridge retraction schedule.
When you need money and you gotta get it fast, Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop is the place for that confidential transaction in a quiet and secure location. You'll get the highest value per pennyweight for your gold and also enjoy the lowest interest rates and longest payback period too. Yes, for that instant transaction to solve a pressing financial problem. That Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, 46 Boyle Place, that's between the Ministry of Housing on Brick Dam and White Castle Fish Shop. Be your first and only choice. Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, safe and sound, solid and secure, always there for you. Telephone 231-7878 and 223-8955.
Furnishing your home or office has never been easier. Here at Kissoon's, our inventory of locally made and imported furniture, offered at amazing prices, will leave you wanting more. From vinyl, floor rugs and carpets, bedroom, dining and living room sets, mattresses, pillows, office desk, chairs and filing cabinets, outdoor benches and tables. We have a piece of furniture for every room imaginable in your home or office. Check out our flagship store at Industrial Site Rijnveld or one of our branches in New Amsterdam, Port Morant, Riverton and Camp Street. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 50 years.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny? I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, Lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again. Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Sooner or later you will have another power failure. Are you prepared for the next blackout? Some essential equipment such as security cameras, lights, internet, gate motors, and water pumps may stop working. How can you prevent the next blackout? InverterTech has an affordable solution for you. A strong UPS system which uses the latest inverter and solar battery technology to prevent blackout. We smartly calculate your average power demand so you don't spend more than you need to. Call 223-2233 for more information.
Maison Francois is the chocolate paradise of Guyana. From the moment you enter our store, you are welcomed by the sweet aroma of Belgian chocolate, pastries and other artisanal treats handmade by our European-trained chef. Our convenient location at the City Mall is the perfect place to take that special someone or to take home a little sweetness. So treat yourself with a taste of Paris in the heart of Georgetown, only at Maison Francois.
Welcome back. Now here's Esther Sobers with the regional and international news.
Good evening. Now we take a look at news in the region and around the world. At least 24 people are confirmed to have died in a landslide in Ecuador's capital, Quito. The disaster was triggered by the heaviest rains in almost 20 years, as Zero Victoria Gatembi reports.
In a poor neighborhood in the Ecuadorian capital, Quito, rescue workers search for bodies in the mud. 17 hours of continuous torrential rain overwhelmed a nearby reservoir on Monday, sending a wall of water, mud and rocks through this residential area. Franz Hernandez is a migrant from Venezuela who works in Quito. He was badly injured and his home was destroyed.
We were so scared. We were in the living room and we tried to leave the house, but it was too late. A wave of flood water burst through the front door. It was so powerful it broke the door in two.
Oh my God!
This footage was filmed by a woman living there. It shows a kilometre-long deluge of muddy water sweeping down her street. Dozens of people were killed and injured. Authorities say the area is still unsafe.
Many things can still happen at the top side of the mountain. Landslides can still happen. We're continuing to monitor the situation with drones to provide residents with a sense of safety and calm.
The mayor has set up shelters for families forced to leave their homes. But many say the disaster could have been prevented if the ravines bordering their neighborhoods had been properly maintained.
This is not new. It has been going on for a long time. We've sent many letters to the municipality warning them about the danger of the ravine. This tragedy was anticipated.
Many say they feared they wouldn't survive the mudslide. Now those with the least will have to rebuild what little they had to start with. Victoria Gatenby, Al Jazeera.
At least 50 people have been killed in less than a month in Colombia. The new conflict involves a National Liberation Army and dissidents of the new defunct FARC rebels. Al Jazeera Alessandro Rapietti reports.
Workers are busy reconstructing the Hector Martinez building in the center of Saravena. Last month, a car bomb exploded, destroying much of this block. Dissidents of former FARC rebels are being blamed for the attack, which killed one person. The buildings house human rights groups, social organizations and unions.
We were holding a security meeting because of the way the conflict was evolving, with direct attacks against social organizations and community leaders. The FARC dissidents are accusing us of sympathizing with the ELN, and that's how they justified attacking us.
Arauca, an oil-rich region on the border with Venezuela, has been mostly calm since the signing of a peace deal between the government and FARC rebels in 2016. But violence returned as FARC dissident groups began to fight ELN rebels for control of drug trafficking and contraband routes. Since the beginning of the year, more than 60 people have been killed, others kidnapped or forcibly displaced. Rocio Delgado, sister of security guard Simeon Delgado, killed in the explosion, says locals are terrified.
This war is absurd, and my brother is just one of many victims. Everybody is anxious because we don't know what will happen tomorrow. Even on a quiet day, people can't sleep, can't rest well. They fear leaving their house. Everything has been affected.
Normally at 6:30 p.m., the streets of the center of Saravena would be alive with people shopping. But since the conflict started, shops are closing early and people are hurrying home, fearing another possible attack. And on top of that, the mayor has imposed a curfew every night starting at 9 p.m. The government has increased its military presence in the area. The violence has pushed more than a dozen health workers to quit after hospitals were also threatened by the groups. Catholic priest Albert Giraldo is holding healing sessions to help workers deal with trauma. He says part of the problem is that the military is mainly protecting the oil infrastructure in a region long neglected by the government.
It's a problem that goes back in history. The government has always prioritized protecting military infrastructure instead of the people. The church has asked the president to reopen the door to a peace dialogue with the ELN. There was supposed to be a meeting in Stockholm. The government didn't go. We are also trying to talk to then dissidents, but we are on our own.
While hundreds have left, others like Sonia Lopez promise to rebuild and continue their work for the people, even if it might cost them their life. Alessandro Ampietti, Al Jazeera Saravena.
And internationally, farming communities around California's Salton Sea are among the poorest in the United States, but the region is hoping a new mineral rush will bring prosperity in the area. Al Jazeera's Rob Reynolds reports.
California's Salton Sea shimmers like a mirage in an arid land, but its waters are nearly lifeless, full of salt and agricultural chemical runoff. The farming communities near the sea are among the poorest in the U.S., with high unemployment and nearly 1 in 4 people living in poverty. Frank Salazar is a local resident and activist.
What we lack is opportunity, I think opportunity is what we need here in this county.
The Salton Sea is shrinking as streams are diverted to farming. On windy days, toxic dust from the dry lakeshore fouls the air.
When you look at the asthma levels of our local children, when you look at the cancer levels of our local residents, they're through the roof.
But far below the sea's floor lies a vast reservoir of superheated water, rich in lithium, the element used to create batteries for electric vehicles and a key to slowing global warming.
We have what some have described as the Saudi Arabia of lithium here in the state of California.
The stakes are high, not only for the region's future prosperity, but for U.S. national security. The U.S. wants a domestic supply of lithium. Today, more than 80% of all lithium is mined in Australia, Chile, and China. But the Salton Sea's treasure trove of the mineral could change those numbers dramatically.
We expect to produce about a third of global lithium from this site. It's an incredible resource.
Companies are already drilling.
What you see in the background there are 2 production wells, full diameter wells that will produce enormous amounts of brine to feed the plant, which will be located here.
State and local officials envision a lithium-based industrial complex with battery factories and electric car manufacturing.
Well-paying jobs with benefits that currently aren't here in Imperial County. I salivate when I think about it 5-10 years down the road, how big it can be.
Conservationists like Eileen Anderson approve of the environmentally friendly extraction process powered by geothermal energy. They hope lithium projects will generate funds to restore the Salton Sea, which is a crucial stopover point for migrating birds. And she's looking at the big picture.
If we're going to transition to clean energy and get off our fossil fuel addiction, lithium is going to be a key component.
Hope for a region down on its luck and a planet heating up. Rob Reynolds, Al Jazeera, Imperial, California.
Thanks, Esther. Here now is your 3D weather forecast. That is all for this edition of Channel 2 Headline News Update. Tune in on Friday at 5:30 p.m. for another episode. Be sure to subscribe, like, and follow us on Facebook and YouTube. Until then, please take care of yourself and each other.